Hey again, it's Christina from Sunshine of Flora. So I wanted to hop on here today with a quick video for you guys just to share with you a really exciting discovery that I made in the hoop house yesterday. So last night I was out in the garden getting ready for an incoming storm. Yesterday it was 60 degrees. It was absolutely beautiful outside. Tonight we're in a blizzard warning. This weather is just so crazy. March is totally coming in like a lion. We are in a blizzard warning overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. We're currently in a high wind warning. The winds are going to be out of the north, and I have a big building kind of blocking my garden, so I'm hoping it's not so bad. But I was out there putting some pieces of concrete along the edge on both sides of the hoop house just to secure it a little bit extra. I also went inside the hoop house and put the frost cloth back down just to tuck in those plants a little bit more. The temperatures are not getting below zero. They're gonna be just fine, but I kind of just wanted to tuck everything in a little bit, make sure things were secure. But while I was in the hoop house, I discovered something really, really exciting. So let's go out there and I want to show you. All right, so we're gonna go out the back door. It has started raining already, which we're supposed to get a bunch of rain before the snow. So of course, when it gets cold enough, this is just going to turn to ice. The other thing that I did yesterday, my greenhouse over here, this has seen better days. We secured it down. It's not going anywhere. It's bolted to the concrete, and structurally it's sound, but you can see it's missing some panels. I have been, as the panels have been going bad, I have been replacing the panels because the panels that came with it were crap. They're pretty much just disintegrating in the sun. The top panels are all new. I just need to replace the rest of them. So that is a spring project. Also, my landscape fabric over here, the other day we had a really strong wind. It was literally launching out of the ground. And so I'm hoping that you can see it's kind of fluttering in the wind there a little bit. I'm hoping that this rain wets it down, and once it gets cold enough, it freezes so it doesn't go anywhere tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, let's get in the hoop house where it's dry and warmer. Oh, so much better in here. So you can see where I put down the frost cloth. And again, these plants are going to be just fine. But because of the wind and the colder temps, I just wanted to snuggle them in a little bit. But I was doing a little looking around the hoop house. And in the center here is where I made my discovery. So I was over here looking around, and I'm noticing a bunch of green seedlings starting to come up. There's a whole bunch over here, and I think that those might be calendula or nigella. I'm not really sure. But in this whole area, there is a bunch of green coming up, and this gets me really excited. Let me zoom in and show you guys. I almost can't even believe it. So this is the first green I was noticing, and I don't know what this is. As it grows, I'll figure it out. It could be nigella. It might not be calendula. It could be cress. Actually, I kind of hope it's cress. But I was noticing this and thinking, oh my gosh, that'll be fun to see when it comes up in the spring. But then I started looking around this whole area, and I noticed all of this green coming up, and there is just green everywhere. And let me zoom in and get it in focus for you guys. By the leaves, can you guys tell what that is? Did you guys guess what it is? It's ranunculus. I can't even believe it. So this entire center bed last year was planted with my ranunculus and anemone corms. And once they died off in June, when the temperature gets warm enough, they start dying off. They only like to bloom in the cool temperatures. So I think it was about mid-June they started dying off. And I wanted to try and save some of the corms. And so I remember last year I kind of started at that end, and I was digging a whole bunch of them out, and I was going to save them. And then I talked to one of my flower friends, and she pretty much suggested getting new corms every year. There's patents on corms. Some of them you're not really supposed to save. It's best to maybe get new corms every year. And I then was getting busy with everything else, and I just stopped digging them. So these stayed in the ground, and I kind of thought that they would just rot away and disintegrate and feed the soil. And I planted a bunch of direct sown crops over top of this. I had sunflowers in here and zinnias and cress and all kinds of things. And like I said, I thought they would disintegrate and feed the soil. Apparently, they did not. They wintered over, and I can see them all the way down at the other end, all the way down to almost where my tripod is. There's ranunculus coming up everywhere. It's like free flowers. That is so exciting. So I don't have anything marked. I don't know what varieties these are. Last year I planted a lot of the Amadine, a lot of the Labelle. I even had some of the Hanoi in here, like the big florist ones. So this will be a total surprise, and this will be really fun to see what they are. But this is super crazy. We've had temperatures all the way down to -20. So this being in the center of the hoop house and insulated enough, these wintered over. I cannot believe it. That's pretty darn cool. So one other really cool thing is this area has not been watered since last fall either. When we get rain, the sides, it kind of wicks in the water from outside, but this is really dry. It has not been watered with a hose or a watering can since last fall. So they have not gotten any moisture, but it must not matter. So that's pretty cool. So as far as my plan for this area, obviously we're getting the blizzard overnight tonight. It's going to be cold for like the next 4 days. The extended forecast shows temperatures in the mid 60s, close to 70. So next week when it warms up, I'm going to be opening up the hoop house anyway and watering this area with my fall planted things. I think I'm going to start watering this a little bit and get these growing on. And then all of those ranunculus and anemones that I pre-sprouted, or I have pre-sprouting now, I will just have to plant those down towards the other end and intermixed with these. Maybe some over at the other side of the hoop house, but this will be really exciting. And maybe I leave a bunch of them in next year and this happens every year, that they will overwinter and come up. I don't know. That's pretty cool. You know, I can't overwinter dahlias in my area for sure because it gets too cold, but what if I can overwinter some things like this in the hoop house? That could be a game changer. That could be such a huge time saver. So anyway, I obviously am really excited about this. It was just such a fun surprise, so I wanted to share it with you guys. I will make sure to keep you guys updated on how these grow and obviously what kinds they are. And I'll be doing a lot of work out here in the hoop house this spring with more planting. I'm going to try some vegetables in here for early vegetables. So this is going to be a really nice production area this spring. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to go inside out of the cold because it's going to start snowing here pretty quick. So I hope you guys are having a great week. I hope you enjoyed this quick, short video. Stay tuned for a lot more yet this season. We will see you soon.